no doubt my core belief is shared by many in this room, that every child and young person has something innate and special in them in terms of talent and ability. And it's our job as families and as a wider society, through both formal and informal support we put in place, to draw out that talent and ensure that every young person grows up to thrive and contribute to our society and our economy. And youth services and youth enrichment are a key part of that, including, of course, the Duke of Edinburgh Award, celebrating its 70th anniversary, which has helped so many young people improve their skills and equip them to make valuable contributions to their communities and societies. And I'd like to add my congratulations to all the young people across the country, and especially in my constituency of Twickenham, who have completed their bronze, silver or gold awards. And also a huge thanks to all those who give up their time to make them happen, knowing some very, very hard-working teachers who then also give up their weekends to go camping and doing all sorts of crazy things in all weathers. I am awestruck, and I certainly would never do that, but then I'm not a camper. So thank you to all of them. These experiences don't just change individual lives, they strengthen our communities too, and through volunteering in the community and completing those expeditions, young people are countering the rising tide of isolation. Last year alone, young people participating in the Duke of Edinburgh Award contributed to an impressive 6 million hours of volunteering, with an estimated value of 45.4 million. And a number of honourable members have mentioned Alan Milburn's recent report on those not in employment, education or training, and the scale of the challenge that we face. But it's important that we challenge the narrative we hear all too often, that somehow young people are disengaged, lazy or selfish. Actually, they're anything but. And this generation is growing up very much in an online world shaped by economic uncertainty, mental health challenges, rapid technological change, concerns about the future of our planet. But time and again, young people show us their determination, their creativity, their drive, especially when they're given the support, the space and support to thrive. Madam Chair, the Liberal Democrats have long campaigned for a fair and long-term funding settlement to support youth work, resources and infrastructure. So we very much welcome the government's National Youth Strategy, and particularly their promise to introduce multi-year funding settlements and halve the participation gap in enrichment activities between disadvantaged young people and their peers by 2035. I would note, however, the recent YMCA report that found that spending on youth services by local authorities in England and Wales fell by 10% in a single year, the largest annual reduction since 2016-2017. And at the same time, we know that children from lower income backgrounds have less access to enrichment activities outside schools. Yet at the same time, we know that schools are facing tighter budgets than ever. And the Joseph Rowntree Foundation have reported that almost 1 in 5 schools have cut back and stopped enrichment activities and clubs in order to provide support for pupils experiencing hardship. I'd also like to draw the Minister's attention to a briefing from the Duke of Edinburgh's Award, which notes the vital role that education providers play in successfully implementing enrichment targets, especially in light of some of the cuts we've seen in youth services. And with both schools and youth providers stretched to the limit, I think the government's ambitions, will be really challenged, and they will, achieving those ambitions will depend on practical support and sustainable funding and capacity. We've already seen concerns emerging in West Sussex, where the County Council has decided to stop centrally commissioning the award, leaving many schools unable to meet the administrative costs themselves. So I'd be grateful if the Minister could share whether she's aware of similar situations arising elsewhere in the country. And I'd be keen to understand what discussions she has had with the Secretary of State for Education on the Duke of Edinburgh's Awards ask of 80 hours of enrichment per year for every young person. As we've heard today, the evidence for investment is compelling, Ms McVeigh. We know that enrichment activities can help improve school attendance. We've heard about the return on investment from youth services, reducing pressure on other public services. And so without the funding certainty beyond 3 years currently promised, we know that youth organisations will struggle to run consistent programmes. I've been asked to wind up, so I would just reiterate it. The consequences of underinvestment are clear. and youth services are not an optional extra, and we as Liberal Democrats stand ready to collaborate with government to ensure the right investment goes in for our young people and their future. Thank you.